Hello my friends, Aspen, welcome to my channel. Out today testing the newest firmware on the Action 5 Pro. Finally we can set the bitrate. You only have two options, you can set it to standard or high. Yesterday I was out testing the Action 5 Pro with the old firmware, and today I'm going to test it with the new firmware. We're going to drive the exact same place. I'm going to drive in my car. We're going to drive between 10 to 20 kilometers an hour. And pay attention and pause the video when you watch it, so you can see it in the details, if you can see any difference in the image quality. And for people that are interested, I'm going to explain a little bit about the bitrate, what I find online, because I'm not an expert, but this is quite important in my opinion. A higher bitrate allows for more data to be captured per second, which means finer details, richer colors and better handling of complex scene, like fast moving objects or detailed textures, can be preserved in the video. This reduces visual artifacts like pixelation and blockiness. So fast moving object is where you can see probably the best effect of higher bitrate. More data is being processed. Of course the file sizes is much larger, but that's fine by me because I want the absolute best image quality. And the Action 4 actually has higher bitrate than the Action 5 Pro. We're going to check the files of course and see how high the bitrate is on the Action 5 Pro, but hopefully over 100 megabits a second. But I haven't noticed that much using the Action 5 Pro with the latest firmware, but we're going to test it today, and this is a great way to test it, especially side by side with the Action 4. So I'm going to roll part 1 first so you can see yesterday's clips, and then we're going to roll part 2 with the newest firmware and bitrate set to high. So let's begin. Mounted the cameras behind on the back side of my car, and we're going to drive the exact same place, but just pay attention to the details. Like I said, with higher bitrate it's easier for the camera to process the fast moving objects, so you can probably see a difference in image quality on the Action 4 and Action 5 Pro. Some say that the low bitrate affects the image quality, and we're going to prove that it actually do. So we're going to test it and see how this looks, and tomorrow we're going to test the latest update on the Action 5 Pro. Let's begin. Okay guys, that was some shots recorded on my car with moving object faster than usual. This is the best way, I think, to test the high bitrate and the effect it has on the image quality. What we're gonna do is a little bit of vlogging also, of course, maybe change to D-Log and see how it is and see if it's possible to see any improvements on the Action 5 Pro. Of course, they've done a lot of other things in this update. I'm gonna put everything up on the screen so you can see that. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it's much better than it was before. I still think that the Action 5 Pro is the best action camera you can get. That's my opinion, of course. So let's vlog a little bit and see how it is. Let's walk standard bitrate on the Action 5 Pro, and it is what it is on the Action 4. So far we've done some clips with the Action 5 Pro versus the Action 4. This is a good way, I think, to see if the image quality is improved a lot on the Action 5 Pro. And just in a couple of days, the Ace Pro 2 is supposed to be launched, or it is. Insta360 has leaked that, so it's going to be really fun to see how good that camera actually is. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna get it. I just have to wait and see. Hopefully in the future companies like that will send me camera to review. I love Insta360, but I also love DJI. And it's gonna be fun to see what will happen between those two cameras with the latest from them, like the Action 5 Pro and the Ace Pro 2. I'm pretty sure they're gonna give it updates and improve it over time. And I think it was smart by DJI to give us an option to set the bitrate, because that was what people was complaining about, that the bitrate was too low. But I have to admit that I couldn't see any big difference. Actually, some people say it, but that's the reason of today's video. Having a moving scene when recording, that's where you actually will see the effect that bitrate does to the image quality, because I think that the camera can process the footage a lot better, but it all depends on how high the bitrate actually is. So we just have to wait and see. It's going to be really fun. I recorded more or less everything today in normal color profile, and I set the white balance to 5500. I think that's going to be okay. But remember to see part 1 and part 2, and remember to pause the video. Do that, because yeah, then you can actually see when you freeze the frame how the image quality actually is. But I watched part 1 of my video yesterday. I started to edit that, and I must say that the Action 5 Pro does look better than the Action 4, especially when you're sitting and talking to the camera. It's windy today, hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, let's switch to D-Log and see how that looks in high bitrate. We set the camera to D-Log M on both cameras, 10-bit. So how is the footage looking now? I set the sharpness or texture to -2 and the noise reduction to -1 because I like the image to be as natural as possible, and if you're setting the sharpness higher it looks kind of strange. Look at the trees and the colors, it's so beautiful now. I just love this time of year, it's so nice when the colors are shifting, but in a couple of weeks it's going to be really boring because all the leaves will fall from the trees and it doesn't look good at all. It doesn't. But it's going to be really fun to see the effect the newest firmware from DJI has done with the Action 5 Pro. It's going to be really fun. And in a couple of weeks, or maybe a week or two, I'm going to do a live with a guy. I can't remember his channel name. Photo Ross or something like that. I'm going to put it on the screen. It's going to be really fun to discuss with him his opinion, and we are doing more or less the same things. I'm a little bit more fan of DJI than he is, but he has an excellent channel, and it's always nice to have a discussion. But what do you think? How is D-Log M looking with the bitrate set too high on the Action 5 Pro? This is just fantastic. It's a little bit windy today, and what I see on the Action 5 Pro, you can actually set the wind reduction to high. You don't have that option on the Action 4. But maybe today's video will give you an indication of how good the Action 5 Pro is, especially against the Action 4. I did some comparison with the GoPro Hero 13. Oh man, that's a bad camera. It's not good at all. I'm gonna return it. I just want to make some more videos with it. I was hoping for so much more, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all, sadly. Let's do some more sample footage and see if you can spot the difference. Okay, my friends, I'm done for today. It was really fun to test these two cameras over 2 different days with 2 different updates, especially on the Action 5 Pro. But we actually also got an update for the Action 4. I'm not quite sure what that was about, but I think it was supporting the new battery from the Action 5 Pro. But it's going to be really fun to see if DJI has improved the overall image quality on the Action 5 Pro. Setting a higher bitrate is great, and if you want to save file size, you can just set it to standard. It's still a good image. But hopefully you can see that in my test with a moving object mounted on a car, that it does affect the image quality. What I do recommend is to pause, like I said, the video and see and do some pixel peeping and see if you can actually see a difference. The weather is a little bit different today, but I still think it's gonna be good. So thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumb up and of course subscribe. And if there's anything else you want to see, please let me know. And as always, I see you on the next one. Bye.